A Bay Area group is taking a unique approach to try and steer youth from a life of drugs and violence, and they're doing it, as you can see here, through music.
Yeah, Guitars Not Guns provides instruments and lessons to young people, hoping to spark their creative potential and keep them safe as well. And joining us to talk about the program are Frank Darling and Barbara Gorin. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Where did the idea come about?
The founder, Ray Nelson, who now lives in Atlanta, had foster kids at home, and he was a retired musician. He was having trouble getting the kids to focus on school and to pay attention to things. And he just said one day, I'm going to teach you how to play the guitar. And all of a sudden, as a result of that, they started doing better in school, started getting more life goals, and these kids have kind of stayed with him over time. At least he stayed in touch, and he can see that it's made a difference. So he just decided to do it more.
Start the organization.
Started in San Jose, actually. Started in San Jose. He now lives in Atlanta. We have a very strong chapter in Santa Clara, San Jose area. So that's where it got started originally. We became a nonprofit in 2000. So
Barbara, tell us about some of the kids that you work with then.
Well, they all just love the idea of learning how to play music. And I look at these kids like it's our next generation. And the kids that we work with would never have the opportunity to be able to get free guitar lessons. And a lot of them don't have a lot of things that they own if they're in foster care. So we actually give them the guitar at the beginning of the class, and it's our 8-week program. At the end of the class, they have a big surprise.
And that surprise is?
The surprise is they get to keep the guitar, but don't tell anybody.
Okay, we'll keep it just between us.
but our focus is on foster, at-risk, underprivileged kids. So it's not a guitar program that just is offered to anybody, but most kids nowadays are at risk, so if they call us and want to be on it.
So this is an attempt to keep them from slipping into the criminal system. Yeah. Keep them out of that.
One thing.
Yeah. You really find that they have a great incentive, I would think, that once they get into this and start learning how to play notes and how to strum the guitar, that it really gets them focused away from the problems that they may be dealing with on the streets.
Right.
Absolutely. Yes.
I'm liking the pictures here. They're all looking pretty cool, you know, and their guitars. Some of the idols, I guess, who play guitars that they might think about. Can you tell us a story about any one of these kids that you can think of?
Well, this little boy, William, he actually has never picked up a guitar before, and he started, he's gifted. He has a gift, and I saw it in him right away, and he was getting the chords, getting the chord changes, getting the notes, and the other little boy that was on there before, Joey, they just are amazing when you see these kids that come in, and you could see that they're going to actually go somewhere with music.
But how is it changing where they've come from and where they go to?
I think one of the main things that I see is that it really gives them direction, and it makes them feel like they're very, what's the word I'm looking for?
Probably smart if they can learn chords and music and all of that.
Yeah, it just kind of gives them, I give them a lot of hope, and we all do, all the instructors, just letting them have this outlet of music.
Speaking of instructors, where do you get the instructors from?
Well, we have on the website, and Frank and Randall Davis.
But they're volunteers, aren't they?
Yeah,
we
are all volunteers.
Everything we do is volunteer, and the money we raise goes to buy the guitars and a little bit of money to reproduce our lesson plans. So it's sort of our mantra is that the money you give us goes to nothing but a guitar, and that helps in fundraising because a lot of people nowadays are worried about, is this money going to a salary? And none of that. We just have kept it to a minimum.
In looking at the website, I understand that you've also gotten some sponsors that a lot of people have heard of before. Some famous musicians have jumped in on this.
Yeah, we've got.
Well, we'd like to have famous musicians. I don't know. We're working on a lot of those, but Barbara has been instrumental in going down to some of the trade shows and having guitar manufacturers tie in with us and as a sponsor, and it's building more and more as our name gets out there. More people like to get attached to nonprofits. In the music business, it's sort of helps a business to be a part of a nonprofit because it's giving back.
So folks can go to your website, www.guitarsnotguns.org. Can kids sign up, or based on where you're?
There's questions that they ask. They can say, do you want to be a student? Do you want to be a volunteer? A number of our volunteers come from hits on our website, and then I follow up with them and say, are you interested? And it's a hit and miss thing. We get a lot of times we go into a spot that's for homeless, and they're living in an apartment house, and we do our class there. So we're kind of a turnkey where we go into a spot and everything is done for them. It's just that it's one more thing that they do in addition to school.
And you have a big event coming up in a couple of weeks. You have a CD release.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Tell us about that before we go.
Well, Red House Studios in Walnut Creek produced a CD a couple of years ago with 12 Bay Area bands that all recorded at Red House Studios. And this time they're coming out with Contra Costa County bands. I think most of them are high school bands.
Yes.
They all donated a song, and all the proceeds are going to be are for our program, Guitars
Very
Not
good.
Guns. And the CD is awesome. I hope it gets a lot of airplay on the radio, because it's they're all,
Very
every
good.
one of the songs are awesome.
That's fantastic.
sounds
Very
great.
cool.
Very
Well,
good.
Barbara Gorin and Frank Darling, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having
Thanks for
us.
having us.
All right.
And good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.